KSI is not like other YouTube boxers. He's a madman.
Logan!
When he sets his mind to something, it will happen. Successful in music and YouTube.
Guys, you work yourself legitimate team, and here is the intro!
And in boxing. The question is though, can KSI beat Alex Wassabi? Let's find out. One, KSI versus Alex Wassabi, height and weight comparison. KSI is 5 foot and 11 inches tall. Alex Wassabi is also 5 foot and 11 inches tall. KSI weighs 170 to 175 pounds, same with Alex Wassabi. Alex Wassabi told KSI that if he ever got down to his weight, he would fight him.
And keep that weight up, boy. Because if you come anywhere close to entering my weight class, I will humble you. And I guarantee that your little brother, being the good man that he is, will be there to pick up the pieces.
KSI, being competitive type, of course took this challenge. So comparably, the same weight and height means there isn't much of an advantage. Well, actually that isn't true. 2. KSI's power and ability to take a punch. Okay, so let's look back at Logan Paul versus KSI fight. In this fight, KSI would weigh in at 193 pounds. With weight comes power in your punches. That's why they're weight classes in the first place. KSI at 193 pounds would have significantly more power than at 170 pounds, so it'll be interesting to see how much power he has at 170 pounds. KSI, though, has shown he is probably one of the hardest punches in the YouTube scene.
For him, because he won't have much gas. Was that a knockdown? Oh, no.
Alex Wassabi, from what I've seen, does not have as much power compared to KSI. Alex Wassabi, when fighting Deji, showed he had ring IQ, beating Deji by points rather than trying to get TKO or KO. Deji was able to take Alex Wassabi's punches quite well, and if you know Deji's boxing career, then yes, you would know KSI can easily take a punch from Alex Wassabi. So in terms of power, I think KSI wins this attribute compared to Alex Wassabi. I also think KSI wins the ability to take a hard punch. If we look back at both Logan Paul vs KSI 1 and 2, Logan Paul landed many hard punches. Including one illegal punch to the back of KSI's head.
Big uppercut for Logan Paul!
But even through all of that, KSI was able to bounce back and beat Logan Paul. So yes, KSI wins this ability to take a punch. 3. KSI's dog mentality.
But also, his boxing ability is good.
Good boxing.
He's not a street fighter. He's in there boxing.
It's trained.
Yep. Dog is huge in that one. Huge. They say it's not about the size of the dog in the fight. They say it's about the size of the fight and the dog.
Nice.
KSI is known for losing his cool and becoming a dog in the ring, throwing crazy punches that go everywhere and praying that one of them landed on his opponent.
Nice jab. Got caught with the right hand. Ducks out of the way of that one.
So there are positives and negatives to this mentality. One negative is if he went against a boxer like Jake Paul. I honestly think Jake Paul would be able to handle that pressure and counter, then knock him out. Now versus Alex Wassabi, that could be a different case. Alex Wassabi has yet to experience a pressure-heavy fight. A positive to this mentality is the will and want to win at everything he does, going hard during training and in the ring. So if you match someone with a dog mentality with a more collective and chess-like boxing ability, you have an unstoppable boxer. If you look at Mike Tyson, you see a pressure-heavy fighter. That's what made him so good. But he also had the ability to play the long chess game. Throw a punch, slip a punch, dip under, throw a couple of right and left hooks, going to the body, breaking the opponent down, to eventually knock him out. Now, if KSI were to take a similar approach, rather than headhunting, I think he could be an unstoppable force. All in all, I think KSI's dog mentality would be an advantage against Alex Wassabi. 4. KSI's ongoing pressure. KSI has the ability to constantly keep the pressure coming, even in the last couple rounds of the fight. This is what makes KSI such an intimidating boxer, but that plays a role in the dog mentality. With his ability to constantly bring the pressure to Alex Wassabi, I think he could make Alex unable to ever catch a break. But let's give Alex Wassabi the benefit of the doubt. What if Alex Wassabi has trained hard enough and prepared for KSI's pressure, and was able to counter KSI and keep KSI at distance? And KSI should be a little more like a chess player in the ring. Like I said earlier, throw a jab, duck under a counter, work the body, come up and get that knockout punch. Overall, I think KSI will have Alex Wassabi tired constantly, and the pressure will be too much for Alex Wassabi to bear. 5. KSI's experience versus Alex Wassabi's experience. KSI has had 3 fights, 2 being amateur fights versus Joe Weller and Logan Paul 1, and 1 professional fight, Logan Paul versus KSI 2. Alex Wassabi's had 1 professional fight, which was against, well, deji. Now, if we exclude amateur fights, then they're pretty much even in professional fight. But essentially, Alex Wassabi fought a boxer who has lost every fight and didn't even really throw up any punches. KSI also has fought a losing boxer, Logan Paul, but Logan Paul is levels above deji. Logan Paul has knockout power, ability to counter well, and the ability to avoid punches. So between the two, I would argue that KSI has more experience in the ring, but there is an argument that KSI has yet to fight in the ring for years. So yes, that probably will play a factor in the ring, but I still think KSI comes out on top. So what do you think will happen with KSI versus Alex Wassabi? Do you think KSI will come out on top, or do you think Alex Wassabi will surprise everyone and beat KSI? I know if KSI loses, it's going to look bad on him. So let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video.